Yes, and welcome to yet another exciting edition on our program Mountain Echoes. Today, almost the end of the month of January, a very difficult month, like some persons will say, financially. But then we're coming closer to the end of it, and we get into the youth month. We call it February, with many activities for young people and elderly people. Also, we shall be handling this topic today: contracts, awards, and implementation in Cameroon. A cause for concern. Of course, charity begins at home. We talk about Cameroon in general. I think also we'll make more or pay more attention to the Southwest region. We call ourselves, we are in the place of hospitality, legendary hospitality, where we welcome everybody. It's like the southern part of shore in the U.S., the people of Birmingham, Alabama, they say they are hospitable. So maybe putting them alongside with the people of Boya is a place where we welcome everybody. It's a place where they give rooms to everybody, be it a francophone, be it an anglophone, be it a black or be it a white, be it a stranger, be it maybe a graphic person. The doors are open for everybody, and we shall be paying attention more to the Southwest region. Like I said, contracts, awards, and implementation in Cameroon. A cause for concern. We have on set fine minds who could tell us more about it, fine brains who have dictionary as far as contracts and contract awards and implementation in Cameroon and Boya municipality in particular. We have them on set. They're going to tell us, and we are expecting the viewers and our very special friends of Mountain Echoes. Remember those in Ekoki, Mujok, those in Sassetole, Bafia, in the western region of Cameroon also. And our friends over there in the United States, we are waiting for your contributions. We are waiting for maybe the little you have for us tonight, so that we could make this session this evening a very special edition. We could make it something maybe take home for the end of the month of January. Why not carry it in the month of February, which is very special? So we'll begin on my left, and Daddy, good evening and welcome, and maybe just tell the viewers and the very special friends of Mountain Echoes. Someone told us that the other day that Father Mountain Echoes, among all your programs on TV, has the highest viewership, and it's not as if maybe there was water in his mouth. He said, Father, I don't have water in my mouth, I'm just telling the truth. So the chunk of them waiting, to savour the best you have for them this evening. So you just introduce yourself, and maybe then we'll get to the next person.
Okay, good evening, Reverend Father. Good evening, televiewers. Thank you for inviting me. It's my first time of being here, and I'm called His Royal Highness Chief Photop Dominic Gimna Asa, the regional delegate of the Ministry of the Economy Planning and Regional Development for the Southwest region, Boya.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chief Dominic. I'll prefer to go with Chief. We give respect to Chief and Phones. When you get into any of the places for pastoral work, the first house where the priest goes to after they must have shown him where he is to stay, or a seminarian, you go to the palace to go and introduce yourself to the chief or the phone that you are new in this place, and he will tell you what is expected, where you are supposed to go, where you have to put your head, and the things that maybe are necessary for you. So we give a lot of respect to the chief. So Chief, thank you for accepting the invitation, and good evening once more. And beside Royal Highness Chief Dominic, we have another guest who's going to tell us about himself.
Thank you, Reverend Father, and thank you, televiewers, for this time we have together. It's actually my first time equally to be in this very serious station which we have been seeing from afar. So I am Kati Alfred Jinti. I'm the regional delegate of public contracts for the Southwest region.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Kit Alfred, regional delegate for public contracts. So we have, I'm sure, we have the right nails for where to put the nails. We're not using maybe nail 20 or nail 18 for a particular kind of thing. So yeah, since we're talking about contracts, awards, and implementation. And on my right, Panjikan, I'm sure you've not been here for some time. Maybe they'll still need to know a little about you.
Thanks very much, Father. I'm very, very elated to be part of this very, very, should I say, highly selected crew. I think I would like to add my voice to some of the things that will be said here this evening. Yes, I'm also Sir Chief Gabriel Njikan. So with the majesties, we like low key, but I think that is it. This is a very, very topical and very worrisome topic. I think we would like to put some light on it and let the listeners be very good and they'll get a lot of it from us.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chief Njikan, for being with us today. Thank you for accepting the invitation. And 60 years is not 60 days. It is, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. That is Bishop Oregon Minor Seminary. You're an ex-student of that noble house of learning and formation house. Good evening and welcome.
Yeah, good evening, Father, fellow panelists, fellow televiewers. Good evening. I think glad to have this opportunity to come here again. The other time I was here to celebrate the 60th anniversary of Bishop Oregon College. So today I've come here for public contract awards. I'm not a specialist, but at least I may have one or two things to chip in. My name is Ngalama Alphonse, and popularly they call me Sango Ngalame.
Okay, so I'll go with Sango. There's Sango Mukundi you go in Lingala, back there in the Congo Kinshasa. It means a parish priest, the parish pastor, Sango Mukundi. Okay. My friend and brother is a parish priest, so time and again, they call him the name. And so what does it mean that parish priest? So it's a Sango Mukundi, means that parish priest or parish pastor. Anyway, like I said, I want to use this opportunity also to apologize sincerely. This should be the third occasion. The first that were to be here, something came up, and the second, I'm sure the bishops of Cameroon were here, and we asked by the bishop that week everything, we keep everything for that, the TV issues, even the station. We carry the studio down there at the Bishop Our Memorial Pastoral Center. So I want to apologize that we had to push that, the first time, I'm sure the second time, and this is the third time. So on behalf of the team and the manager of DMRT, we want to sincerely say we are sorry for that, and we want to say thank you, and we promise not to repeat this again. Like I said, we keep the ball rolling. Our contracts, awards, and implementation in Cameroon, a cause for concern. Even the kids today in the car coming up, if we had many votes, this whole thing of traffic this evening like that, because after Bondoma, we don't find traffic. So what is happening? So everybody's like, they don't know that it takes a lot to put all these things in order. They know that we need maybe a good person to handle, or good persons to handle. They know that we need maybe a specialist. They know that it takes time to do all this things. Some persons think that maybe you just go into the kitchen and maybe you prepare, you put the boil, put water, and then you put rice into it. And after putting salt, after about 30-45 minutes, you go get the rice and start eating. That is not construction or maybe contracts and the rest. So they want to know more about it, and we begin by looking at the topic, Chief. Looking at this topic of today. Contract awards and implementation in Cameroon, a cause for concern. What do you think about it, just looking at that topic?
Well, Reverend, when I had an invitation and the theme or what we had to handle, public contracts, awards, and implementation in Cameroon, a cause for concern. I don't know who conceived the topic, and I want to think that you are the one. So unveil the package and let's look at it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chief. Contracts, awards, and implementation is a cause for concern. It's no news to us that, for example, we're talking about the Mokiga Russia the other day on radio, CRU TV, and some other radio station. We were told that by December 2024, maybe the way to hand, is it the key or the necessary things for cars to start using the road, supplying the road? And this is January 2025, and something is not done. And many other roads in Cameroon, will just maybe pay attention in the southwest region. Like I said, a call for concern. What are the primary challenges in the process of awarding government contracts in Cameroon? Why, or maybe the delayance, while maybe the work not being done properly, or maybe handing on time? Is there no a time bound and all those things? Putting all those things into consideration, or putting all those things together, we came with these few words: contract award implementation, a cause for concern. The contracts are awarded, maybe the money also is being given. Some persons are there to carry the thing, but then at the end of the day, we do not have maybe good results. And we thought it is worth talking about it, coupled with the fact that some weeks back, even up to today, we've been having over the TV, over the radio, announcement of maybe contract awards, especially in the Southwest region. Bikoko, Edina Road, Mutengene, my 17, my 4 to 2 Tole, getting to Boya, Ekundo Titi, all those things, everybody, their eyes are open. And the question is there going to be something different from what has been happening in the past? When we put all these things together, that's what I said, it's a cause for concern. So what do you think about that?
Well, I before my colleague, who is the master in award, comes in,
Yeah.
I want to think that you've touched award, you've touched implementation, like the case of the Moki Garage. We all living in Boya,
Yeah.
and I want to think that the traffic situation around OIC or around from Brigade right down to OIC, I think the Moki Garage issue has its own contributory factor. But let us look at it carefully. We have what we call project identification, which comes from the aspirations of the community expressed to the state, to the regional or local councils. And the case of Bikoko, Mutengen, Limbe, Ejinao Road, which you hastily pronounced, it has not been awarded.
Yeah.
What happens is there is the identification and there's a process we call maturation. By the Prime Minister's decree of 21st June 2018, though we can say there are some margin of errors somewhere, but no project is supposed to be funded when it is not yet matured. Now, when it goes through this process, then we get to know the amount. And once the amount of the contract or the project is known, there's allocation. So what we are talking about, Ejinao, Bikoko to Ejinao, funds have been allocated for that purpose. So the next stage now will be the award. After the award, there's implementation. Now, my brother of public contracts will take over, but I land back again on the Moki Garage issue. I think the Moki Garage bridge is a worry to everybody. And each time when I meet with the mayor of Boya, we now call Boya City, and some call Boya Council, and I prefer calling it Boya City. All of us have a worry. And when you go to the public contracts code, there's this phraseology, force majeure, meaning that there's a possibility of the unforeseen. Talking here, I'm not involved in the monitoring of the implementation of that project. It is the council and the divisional delegation team of FACO, but there must be a reason. And I want to believe that if we move to the contractor, if we move to the project engineer, if we move to the mayor, we'll have to get these reasons. And sometimes we have what we call insufficient project maturation, where you have the paperwork well done, and when it gets into implementation, you discover that some elements were erroneously left out. And if we have had stories of structures collapsing, do you prefer it will be hastily done and it collapses, or if we discover some errors, these errors are corrected and we have the right product and not respecting the timeline? Because you talk of timeline. Yes, it was 6 months that the Lord Mayor pronounced. It went on air over all the news channels 6 months is more than 6 months. There should be a reason. I think the mayor himself is not comfortable that the deliverable has not yet been delivered by that contractor. It's a problem to him. And as I followed him one time talking, 2025 election year, though it has been shifted to 2026, but 2026 is not far from here. But he has he has sought and had the funds. He has awarded to a contractor who tendered, and what the contract, as per the public contracts code, gives the possibility the contractor won, but it's not delivering. But I want to conclude by saying that the contractor, if we were saying that the contractor, he or she had abandoned, that's where we should have been in a deep shit. Yeah. But the contractor is delaying, but the contractor has not yet abandoned. I think with the award, Mr. Kati, you can help me.
Yes, Mr. Kati, sorry, this is really your dish. Just because your neighbor is there and they say neighbor, help neighbor, I thought maybe your neighbor also at least he has done something. But the dish, you're the one carrying the dish. Looking and we talk about the contract awards. Just contract award. What are we talking about? Is it which kind of persons really take maybe this contract award? Is it for specific persons or some persons that maybe they must be very tall? We'll talk of contract. What are we talking about?
Well, thank you very much. I begin from the team.
Yeah.
As you said, contract awards.
Implementation.
And implementation, a cause for concern.
Yeah.
I think I perceive it from another angle.
Yeah.
Because when we talk about the national cake, when we talk about the national cake, it is not like a cake per se that is shared and people take their different shares. I think the national cake is shared through projects. And that is why you find somebody very far off, maybe in Frunkankan or wherever, is able to have its own share.
Okay.
And you find people in different areas having road projects, having this, all of that, they are shared according to the need. Just as he said, that all these needs come from the population and then they are conceived. So what I look at it as a cause for concern is that when you have these projects allocated for a particular people, and at the end of the day, if it is not executed, then the people suffer. Despite the fact that the government had made all the provisions for them to enjoy water, for example, and if the water is awarded to somebody and at the end the water is not realized, the project is not realized, the people will still not have the water. And I think it is a concern because projects have been hit of abandon. And I think these are the various concerns that actually at the end of the day, you may not actually have people who are supposed to enjoy the rights and privileges of being Cameroonians in the same country, they may not have. And I think it was because of this that His Excellency the President made this statement, which I would like to quote. On the 16th of January 2019, when he was addressing the Ministerial Council, he said, I insist on the fact that all our projects, and I mean all of them, ought to be executed within the allotted time frames. It is not acceptable that some of them are not being carried out within the agreed schedule or are simply abandoned. End of quote. He said that. I think before this statement was coming up, he must have realized that there have been complaints left and right, projects abandoned and all of this. And I think that is where the concern is. Because at the end of the day, if the project has been conceived and the means allocated and the project is not executed, the people suffer.
So
what I want to talk about the award In his quote, he talked about the implementation, but I would like to say that there is the legal framework in place, which is the Public Contracts Code of Decree number 2018/366, which is actually the laid down rules which are applicable to the preparation, award, execution, control, and regulation of public contracts. All of these are embodied in the code, which is the main document that is being used during the award. Normally, these rules that are laid down, they are based on the principles of free access to public procurement. You have find equal treatment of bidders. You will find transparency, efficiency, and integrity, and all of this. So when all of this put together, you realize that any of these factors, if it is lacking, then at the end of the day, the right contractor may not be selected for the particular project. Normally, public contracts, they are open to all Cameroonian companies, which they are duly registered within the framework of the officially registered. Yes, so most of these companies, they have a right. That is why in most cases it is an open tender. Open tender to all the companies that are duly registered to tender for these projects. Sometimes these projects are even open to international companies, depending on the magnitude of it, whatever. So what is there is just that there are laid down principles for the award and laid down principles for the execution, and there are organs in place for this. Like for the award, there is the tenders board, and the tenders board, they have all these representatives from the different ends coming together to do the selection of the bidders from where they choose the best.
Further, I would like to come in there before you step in. I think we should, on this platform and in this panel, not sweep our dust under the carpet. We should sweep it over the carpet. You know what? Tell Cameroonians and televiewers where the shoe pinches and what is the right thing. Right? Thanks to the regional delegate, he has opened it up very well, and that is what I want to pick up. There is an executive officer. There is an awarding officer. One who awards and the one who executes. And at the end, those who benefit are us, the masses. The masses. The question now is, are they doing their job well? That's where we should pin it down, and that's why I would like us in this debate to handle it. Are there checks and balances to see that this contract has been awarded? Example, toilet. We hear about the Memos toilet road, how to call Wututu Limbe Road very soon. My 4 road. It will be awarded. Will it be given to the right persons? Will the person doing it, will he be checked? There is no need pretending. So we all have been involved. I've been part of the tenders board many years back. There's money that goes under the table. Let us say it and say it frankly. So that some contractors are not the right contractors. Some are not. What has happened, look at, Father, I want to take it back there. In the days of Kilo or Nanga, when they handled projects and constructed them, the things are there till present day, 60 years afterwards. But look at our own year, the reunification road that we did, 2014. I was part of that team to receive Paul Biya here when he came for reunification of Cameroon. From Malingo right to small support. That is a death trap. I passed it last week. That is a death part. Who constructed it? Who did it? Who awarded the contract? And when it was awarded, was it follow up to make sure that the right things were being done? The right material was being done? Was it being done? Look at the other one. Further, I'm saying so that my regional delegate, my very good friend, will know where the shoe pinches us, the citizen. Look at the CAMEROON Academy after Munya. That place has been there since that road was constructed. Every day, pit holes, potholes and everything. The one time that managed to work on it was when an assistant SDO died on the road, when he had an accident and died. That's when they rushed and constructed and worked on it. But till date, I left Kumba 2 days ago. It is still the same thing after how many years. Why are we suffering ourselves this way? Look at the road that was done before I was born. I'm talking about the late 50s. The road after Ekona, if you are leaving Ekona and coming up to Boya, after that bridge in Ekona, after research, the Ekona, there's a road there on the right, which was tarred. That was the old road, what we used to call it the old road. That goes right to Lisoka. That road is still tarred, still very good. The tar is still as solid as anything. That is how many years back? More than 60 years back. Shamelessly, the other day, CRTV was announcing that after the fire in Chang, the road is bad. So vehicles can now use the old road that was constructed before independence. And that hill, and it's still as good. Why is it that way? So those constructors and contractors who came from Germany and Britain and the rest are better than some of us, right? I think the bottom line is that we are not following up these contracts, and the right people are not awarded these contracts. I've quoted Kilo and Nanga, who did contracts and they did them well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Panjika. We'll be coming to that. Back to the regional delegators. We talked about legal frameworks. So I was asking, how effective are the existing legal frameworks and regulations in Cameroon in ensuring transparency, which you talked about in the contract awards? To see, put the glass and then there's clean water to see all those things. It's effective. How are they doing that?
Well, what is clear is just that the legal frameworks are in place. When you find the authority in charge of public contracts, any situation that comes up, for example, there are tenders boards suspended. There are people who has been dismissed and suspended for 24 months, and they are not supposed to do anything related to public contracts.
Again.
So if there are those sanctions in place, and a company, for example, that is supposed to execute a project, once you abandon a project, you are sanctioned for 2 years. You will not
have the opportunity to take any of the public contract. Okay, we'll be coming back to that. Thank you very much.
Let me just chip in something there. You see, when they're awarding contract, let's take, for example, a road contract. Now, do they really take into consideration whether the contractors have equipment? Because there's a problem. Some of them take contracts and subcontract it to other people.
So Papa has a lot to tell us, we grew up, we knew of Razel, Razel, there's another one of Bonds. Those are the two.
And the Schumas.
No
publicity for
I heard about Bonds and Razel, maybe you pass, you see your trucks, caterpillars, and left with all that. Razel, the roads that Razel did, I don't know the roads, were just told.
A docketer.
Yeah, they did some kind of, so which of those are on home base? And a few days ago, there's someone who said, some of the things we do in our own country, we do them as strangers. And I was asking, what do you mean? Say, Father, when I get sense, you go and think about it. that person was going towards the direction of, it must not be roads. Maybe either you've been giving some money to do either a forage. I'm sure someone came and did some kind of fake work in the name of forage, and they paid you some of money, And the conclusion that the person made was that if they do this thing well, how are they going to have money again? So just get it. It's in almost all the projects, not necessarily roads and the rest. Getting to those, when we hear those kind of maybe comments from people out there, from the masses, and then we have maybe this contract that come. What do we put in place before we go? Maybe we give them this it's a privilege that is being given to some, like you said, those who don't do them, they are sanctioned maybe, and they will not have public contract maybe for 2 years. And are there some other penalties apart from sanctioning these people who suffer the populace?
There are many other penalties, but what I just want to indicate is that it has been an evolution. There have been foreign companies initially that were involved in many of these works, like the road works that you are talking about. But eventually you realize that there are many companies now, national companies, that are doing even better. Because when you find works, I remember even in Douala, as you're going around Yassa, it's Société Mark that is doing the work. When you find our stadia that was constructed, most were local companies. And when you look at even the Société Mark, which I have been seeing most of his work, presently he's working the ring road. You have Bofas, you have Bonds that you call. They are all national companies. And all of them are doing pretty well.
Yeah.
And what is there is just that what is there, it has evolved to the level that there are many of these other companies. But now there are laid down rules for award. Normally, before you tender, when the project owner comes up with a tender file, as the tender file is launched, the project is launched for bidders to compete.
Yeah.
There is the administrative part of it, there is the technical part of it, and all of these have specifications as the type of equipments that you need to have and all of that. Then the personnel, you need to also have all of this. In the tender file is an embodiment of all of this. And therefore, before a company tenders, you must show proof of all of this.
Yeah. But I talked about machines and the rest.
Machines, those are the equipments I'm talking about. And then at the end of the day, if we have different companies that tender for that particular project, let's take the Idina Bikoko road that we are talking about. Normally we have maybe 5 companies that have tendered after the project has been launched. They will look at the administrative files of all of these companies. If their administrative files are okay, then they will look at their technical file. And normally what happens is that they give a score for this. In most of the tender files, there is a minimum score that if you don't have up to 80% or 75%, then you are eliminated. And in that case, those of the various items that constitute that technical part of it, once you cannot have the score, it means that the things required of you, you are not able to have them. Therefore, you cannot do the work. It's considered that you are not fit for the work, and you are eliminated. Those who have the score above or from that amount that has been put, the percentage put, they can now continue to the financial file. And it is the financial file that, okay, at the end of the day, they will look at who can do the work, because once you have passed the administrative and the technical, it means that you are eligible for it.
Yeah.
The next other factor now is with how much will you want to do this work? Will you be able to do this work? That is when they look at their financial packages. And their amount now is what now will determine who should do, because following the rules, it is supposed to be given to the lowest bidder. And therefore, that is one of the criteria that normally is used, because if I have this pen, I want this pen, and you can bring this very pen to me for 50 francs, and you can bring for 25, there is no reason why I should buy from you for 50. I think that is just the idea about this.
So why don't we think also that maybe the one for 50 is of the ink would take
that
a longer time?
That is why I say this same pain.
Okay, Alfred, we'll be coming to that. Just see there is something for us there. Just check it. If you said then maybe so that we act on that. Still concerning contracts and implementation and the rest. It's not news to us that the minister himself was around and we had some interviews and we had other things said about contracts and implementation, especially in the Southwest region. Just if the video is okay, you indicate. But we will get 1 or 2 things, just prepare it and then you indicate to us. Yes, Banjikan, you have something.
Yeah, so
Chief is ready to tell us something.
Chief,
yes.
so this for Chief and
yeah,
myself.
because the chief has chief has a group of persons.
Yes.
You know that they look up to him.
Yes, we're supposed to monitor. That's what we're supposed to monitor.
Yeah, Chief.
Well, it's true. I want to think that this goes under implementation. Before I get to it, I want to make 2 things clear.
Yes, Chief.
The Reverend Father talk of abandoned projects.
Yeah.
There are 2 types of abandoned projects. One, abandoned by the funding body.
Okay.
Take for example the state. The hypothetical example is the government of Cameroon wants to construct, let's say, a community hall for the people of Munya, and first phase 50 million, second phase 30 million, and in first phase the 50 million made available, the contractor construct the task requested of him or her for 50 million. Then the following year, where the second phase is supposed to come, the funds don't come. The project is there, it is abandoned. Now, there's equally the case of the contractor abandoning for whatever reason, but we now know that the funding body can abandon a project and the implementing partner can abandon a project. And the question of the lowest bidder made mention here. I want us to be very clear about the issue of lowest bidder. I think this question of lowest bidder has also contributed to the poor execution we are talking of. Because people rushed to say that, oh, the contractor has the contractor is the lowest bidder. We are supposed to be talking of the what we call
quality.
efficient lowest bidder, where the subcommission of analysis has to look at the technical file and look at the prices to be sure that the price, you can't tell me, and that's why sometimes they tell us that, oh, if the contractor is probably proposing 10 million, it is because he or she had some leftover materials within that environment. And when you go there, you don't see it. Let us be very clear on this. I stand on it to say that the question of the lowest bidder should be revised. And if it is not revised, an effective and competent subcommission of analysis should be sure of what we call a lowest bidder is a lowest bidder. Okay, now, what His Highness was talking of traditional authorities being part, it is clear. The Prime Minister's decree of 13 September 2013 put in place what we call the participatory follow-up mechanism, which is lodged at the council level, the divisional level, the region, and national. And the structures at the council level, it is headed by the mayor, at the division by a parliamentarian, by either lower or upper house, the region parliamentarian, either lower or upper house, same at the national level. And who are the members at all levels? At the divisional level, all the traditional authorities with projects lodged in their kingdoms or chiefdoms or foredoms are members of the divisional participatory follow-up committee. At the level of the region, the traditional authorities are represented. The mayors are represented. The civil society equally is represented at all levels. So this is the, and the engineers are there, the award authorities are there, the authorizing officers are there, and ready to respond to the worries of the community. What has brought us down is the fact that this monitoring process and the right given to us by the state, we don't respect it. Denouncing poor practices does not mean that we need to go some kind of engineering school. Even the mud houses that we build, we know very well that we need timber. Or most of our houses now in Cameroon, it's difficult to have a mud house. Most of the houses are block houses, and we know that. Everybody knows that a bag of cement gives 42.5, or even 32.5 gives something around between 30-35 blocks. But when you see somebody molding more than 40 blocks on a bag of cement and you don't complain, you want who to come and do it. And denouncing is the beneficiary population just move to the traditional authority, who equally liaise with the administration, either the GO, the senior divisional officer, delegates of Minipart, delegates of MIMAP, or Public Works. You explain that this is what I'm saying. Please, can you come and verify? And they have to go. It is their responsibility to go verify. So nobody is left out in this process. And it did not end there. The Ministry of Economy, Planning and Regional Development, and the Ministry of Territorial Administration came up with, on the 10th of January 2017, with what we call the monthly consultation framework, which is lodged at the Senior Divisional Office and the governor at the level of the region, where the engineers and the administration sit to look for what we call adapted solutions to local problems. That is, we maintain what the law says, but we try to look at how do we go about it. And that's what, when we say, when you see something, you say something. If you hear something, you say something. Because the engineer cannot be planted on the side. But this, we call the monthly consultation mechanism the laboratory of the execution of the public investment budget. We have been given all the tools, but we don't want to appropriate the tools because somebody who uses warehouse statement, we said it yesterday, what did they do? It depends to who you said it and how you said it. So then, naming the Razel and all whatnot that they are the best. Are we not the same people crying that we have roads done by Razel, which the roads are also giving way? The Tole Wotutu road, did you see Your Highness, did you see the job specification? You have even the classrooms or the road. There's 15 centimeter thickness. Yes. There's 20 centimeter thickness. Did you go to see what they call the hydraulic structures? And this takes us back to the job specification. But I'm not the devil's advocate here. We know there are poor practices which are being carried out. And it is left for us to be resilient and ensure that what the state put at our disposal in the name of our own share of the national cake, as my colleague put it, that we appropriate it and be sure that what is ours gets to us. In fact, when you see what Bonds is doing between Babaju, Bamenda, it is wonderful. And that is a local company. Yes, or the job you were talking about, Munya Kumba, is Satom. The international companies that people are asking for. It was done by Satom. It was not done by a local company. So please give the local companies the opportunity for them to show us what they are capable of doing. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chief. We call on Jesse. The video is ready, and then we react on that. So it's still concerning contracts and the implementation, especially roads. Jesse, over to you.
First of all, we are so grateful that the minister made the Southwest region the choice of the launching. This is a very great friend of the Southwest region, and particularly Boya. Today, therefore, you can see the response, you can see the turnout, and we feel so gratified. In doing so, we followed with a lot of attention the various announcements that were made for the Southwest region, particularly concerning the development of our road sector. We are so happy that we got this assurance from him. The call we have for him is that there should be follow-up to all of what has been invested on the road network. We think that our contractors have the funny attitude of not giving satisfaction to the beneficiary communities, in that they have a way of not producing the desired results but end up being paid. This is what we are not going to tolerate this time. So control mechanisms should be put in place in ensuring that what perfection and description that has been spelled out in the budget should be met, so that happiness and satisfaction should follow after all is done. And think that that is the message we have for the minister, and we think that in his pragmatism is going to address what concerns we have.
Merci, sénateur. En français, votre réaction suite aux annonces faites par le ministre des Finances?
Premièrement, le ministre s'est un grand ami du Sud-Ouest, particulièrement dans la ville de Boya. On avait un cadeau à Boya qu'il nous a donné quand il était directeur général des CMPS. Aujourd'hui, la population de Boya et le Sud-Ouest en particulièrement ne peut pas oublier ça.
Yeah, thank you very much, Jesse. And we have this little excerpt there, an interview from the senator himself, Senator Mbela Muki, our father and friend, and someone who lives with us also in this place of hospitality, Boya City. We call it Boya City. Yes. So,
let me react very, very snappily to what the honorable senator said there. And I think I stand corrected here by the regional delegates who are here, and especially by Royal Highness. This time around, we need to have a lot of checks. Checks. And who are those to do the checking? Regional delegates, you should leave your office and go get your workers out to go and check what is being done. What kind of mission are they doing? What kind of compartment is being done? Are they compacting well? Depending on the prescriptions of the contract as well. The second thing which I want to borrow from is what Honorable Nature said the other day about his brother and friend, Honorable Nature of the West region. He talked about that the Minister of Public Works has been awarding contracts to his brothers, friends, and relatives. And that's why very many contracts are not being carried out, especially road contracts. That very many of them are being poorly executed. Some are not even being done. He talked about the Babaju Road, which of course Bonds has picked up and is picking up well. He talked about the road going to Bambala and the rest of them. The ring road, which has become a nightmare, and some of us will die not having it done, which has been more than 60 years. So I want to appeal that in addition to that, the contractors should know that they are not doing this job for somebody. They are doing it for themselves. It's for us Cameroonians. It's for our children or our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren. So there should be love, like the Germans say, there should be love for the fatherland. Love for the fatherland.
Thank you very much, Daddy. Since this is all, listening from Senator Mbela Muki, chance he talked of follow-up and something for the contractor. I'm sure it boils down to implementation. How do we follow up these persons in part of the casting? What do you intend to do? That's him saying that, and they are bent on that this time around.
Well, I would like to indicate that it's not like there is no issue of follow-up. There are structures in place for that.
Okay.
There are the control engineers, there are all of these structures, like Minmap normally is for control of all of this. And there is Minipart, and we have this follow-up also, the regional follow-up, that we normally from time to time we move around to see what is happening. And then all of these are in place. But this is what I just want to indicate. Normally, when there is a project, there are the specifications, which the local man may not know. These specifications, technically, is what is being checked. Because if you have a road work to do and you have a layer of maybe 5 centimeters of tar to put, you don't expect that the contractor will put 10. So that the road should last longer. The main thing is just that he will put the 5 according to the specifications of the contract. And now the whole thing, the emphasis should be more of, okay, if we want the road to be maybe 10, 15 centimeters of tar, we should make the means available for that. So that at the end of the day, what is realized will be able to meet up with the taste of time. And I think that what is there is just that the control, you cannot come to control and then you are giving your own specifications which are not stipulated in the contract. And so those are the various things that we just normally need to know. I think my emphasis here is just that we should make means available so that the project that is realized once, so that it can take a long time before it can ever need any repairs. And then when that is done, the main thing that I want to emphasize here is that the various actors who are supposed to make sure that what is in the contract is implemented, they follow up to see that it is actually done the way it is specified. I think that is one thing. And I would like to say, as the ring road was even mentioned, I would like to indicate that I am on that stretch of the ring road, and I'm happy to say that work is going on. And I think from Tatum to Ndu, Bonds is handling. From Ndu to Nkambe, Mark is handling.
from Kambe to Abonche, somewhere further, Bofas is handling.
Okay.
And I just want to say that they are doing a wonderful job. And I think that the issue of the ring road, which was sounding like a
nightmare, is coming to place, will come to pass.
reality.
Yeah, Chief, I'm sure you have some-
Yes, I will stand and I will put my finger on the remarks of the honorable gentleman and His Highness and Mr. Ngalame. The laws are there, but I want to think that what we are doing here, somebody somewhere is listening and following up us. It starts from my word. I divorced from my colleague when he talks of the means. If truly we are respecting the Prime Minister's decree of 21st June 2018, then why are we talking about the means? When the mature a contract for 2 billion and you come and say you do it for 800 million and in the name of lowest bidder is accorded to you. No, that's one. Two, the question of paperwork. Mr. Ngalame talked of machines on paper. Most of these machines, the award authority awards basing on papers. There should be this possibility of going to the ground to be sure that effectively they are there. Because we live in a society where people have decided to become so deviant that they don't care. Somebody will sign that he's giving you the machines when the machines he has not given you the machine, but you have the paper. The same as you find a situation where the commercial bank says, I'm ready to make available 50 million to pre-finance a contractor, and as the contractor wins the contract, the 2 weeks, 1 month, the job is not taken off the ground. You ask what is happening. I'm waiting for Nyangi, I ask for a loan. So where is that commercial bank that gave you the pre-financing? These are the things, and I think we have gone the extra mile where we go to the banks to tell them that is this document from you? Yes. You have to take another undertaking from us to be sure that you are going to accompany this contractor in this process. Yes. So the control mechanism is there. And when you talk of a bridge received today and it is collapsing the next day, when we have Labogeni there to assist us, who are those receiving these jobs? They are us Cameroonians. We are those receiving these jobs, and the next day they go away and we say there's no money. So I want to think that what the people are saying, if you verify, you can see some truth in it. I'm involved in the process. All of us need to stand up. All of us need to say that enough is enough, and we see how to change the way of doing things so that we make what is meant for the population to them. So I want to stand here to say the award authority or the state has to re-examine the paperwork. Yes, paperwork accepted, but there should be verification and assurance that what somebody present in paper actually exists on the ground.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Pangalaman. I'm sure maybe one word to all those who go in, to call them bidders, who go into, what do you have to tell them?
Well, I think they need to be efficient and open-minded. Yes. And what I want to suggest again to is if I have a project worth maybe 20 million, and that 20 million is able to cover maybe 5 kilometers of road.
Yeah.
And the contractor discovers that that 20 million cannot cover that. And it's better to use the 20 million and do 5 kilometers effectively than doing the 20 kilometers, which will give way the other day. Look at the central market, checkpoint central market road. That thing, that road was, yes, it is all bad. It's not long since it was done.
But it might have been surface dressing. That's why I keep saying that you need to know the job specification.
Yeah.
Because the lifespan of what you call economic tarring or surface dressing It's not up to a year. It goes.
Surface dressing.
Okay.
Surface.
Regional Delegate, it's okay, we'll be coming back to you. Panjikan, you have 15 seconds this time around to those who award contracts to the contractors. What do you
my word is simple, Father.
Yeah.
That they should know that God is watching.
Okay.
God is watching.
Okay. Thank you very much. We come back to Regional Delegate. You have all these things on your dish, and we know that they say one hand in the tie bundle. And what do you have generally for those coming for contract and to the population? They expect to hear something from you, these two group of persons.
Yeah, thank you very much. I want to indicate that it has been a concern.
Yeah.
And there are many actors in the chain of award and the chain of execution.
Yeah.
The whole thing is that if there is one person who fails to do his work in the chain, it will affect the rest of the chain.
Of course.
And I think that is where the point is. And the issue of the laid down principle of lowest bidder is because the subcommittee, they may not look at it and do their work efficiently, because that is normally the most effective way that you can be able to do a selection. Because we are looking at the situation where the issue here is that you adjust in the award until there is another formula that may be put in place. But for now, so far, that is the best that is being used. And then what I just wanted to indicate with respect to these other equipments that we are talking about is that the ministry is categorizing the different contractors, and that will solve the problem, because when you have to be categorized, they visit your base, and then you show proof of all of that. You choose your domain that you are functioning. You can be categorized for building construction, for roadworks, for particular domains. So they visit, they see the equipments, and then they give you the certification for the category that you are tendering for. And in that case now, those jobs that are meant for road, they know that you have the equipments. It's not just about paper. And I would like to indicate that it is all of this evolution that we are trying to perfect situations to have the best from the different actors, so that everybody can be satisfied with the outcome of every situation.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chief. Thank you very much, Dadi, for coming. Mr. Fred, Chief Dominic also. We want to say Pangalamen and Alphonse, thank you for coming. Our wish and our prayer this time around is the gifts, like we heard the president's speech. He said there's a token, New Year's gift to especially those in the Southwest region. And Cameroon in general, many awards or many, maybe is it contract or whatsoever, especially roads have been given this time around. Our wish is that all those who go in the bidders and whosoever, those who are concerned, they should know that it is for us. We are not strangers. We are not doing it for other persons. We are doing it for ourselves. So we should go there and do the best so that we can enjoy the roads for 10 years plus. Those other roads have been there for during the time of Ahijo, like we're told, and those roads are still today. Of course, there are some still roads that have been done after 1985 by President Paul Biya himself. Some of those roads are still being enjoyed by. Why don't we do our best this time around to do it for the people of tomorrow, for ourselves, so that we'll stop all the issues of traffic congestions and potholes that we have left, right, center. So thank you very much for being with us. Want to thank JC, want to thank the team of CAMEROON TV, all those who have been working. We say good night to you, and a special good night to the Bishop, who is the #1 supporter and promoter of this TV, Bishop Michael Bibi. Good night.